Hey there, brilliant people. So today I'm actually going to start a new series just because I thought it might be fun. I'm going to start a new series in which I'm talking about intuition in movies and the way intuition is portrayed and, what, if anything, we can learn from that. So today I thought that we could talk about the movie Dune because I've liked the new remake of it. Quite frankly, I like the old remake of it. I like the book, but let's just focus on the new remake because I think probably more of you have seen that. So the first thing that we learn about intuition in Dune is when we meet Paul and he's learning about his Bene Gesserit teachings has taught him to allow fear to pass through him. He's learned to understand that what the quote is, that fear is the mind killer, and that he allows the fear to pass through him because he's not going to allow his fear to make his choices. Now, this is very true. If you want your intuition to really work for you, you can't afford all your fight flight stuff going off. You can't afford to allow your fear to trigger the limbic system, the ancient part of your brain, because when that happens, you're just going to react. You're not going to be listening to the deeper patterns that form your intuition. So learning to find a place of stillness where you can just allow the fear to move through you, this is a really good principle. And of course, though, one of the biggest things with Dune, I mean, it's the whole thing about the planet Dune anyway, is that there is what they call a spice, which, okay, let's face it, it's a drug by any other name. It's some kind of psychoactive drug. And in that movie, it's pretty much sort of the book. Maybe it's a little bit clearer in the book, but essentially the drug itself is the primary way that people use to alter their perceptions. I mean, you can train for years and years and years but even so, they primarily use the drug. Like even the Bene Gesserits and stuff, they use the water of life, which is essentially concentrated drug. Yes. So whereas there are many different traditions that use different kinds of drugs on our own planet, that isn't the only way that you can do it. I mean, obviously with fractology, we don't use drugs. We just learn how to perceive the hologram, and we use the fractal structure that is underlying the hologram and our perception of that. That is what enables us to open our intuition in a very disciplined way. But this is the thing, see, because a lot of people who do use drugs as a mind-altering, then they talk about, oh yeah, but the shamans do that. It's like, yes, but just like, Paul talks about, it's like it was actually his training that enabled that when he was subjected to the drug, that it expanded his mind, but it didn't just expand his mind and he lost control. He says it didn't just change his mind, it changed his consciousness because of his training. He knew how to deal with this expanded energy, with this increased input that the drugs gave him. And that's actually the truth of many shamanic traditions. It wasn't just about taking the ayahuasca or the peyote or whatever particular thing it was, or I suppose in more modern times, LSD for some people. It isn't just about taking psychoactive drugs. In the shamanic tradition, that was done under the guidance and the mentorship of a trained shaman, and the person was taught not to lose control. A little bit like lucid dreaming, I suppose, but not to lose control, but just to take the experience and the energy and take it in the direction that the person wanted it to go in. And when that happens, again, as it shows us in Dune, that increased awareness can help us learn to make better choices. And that's definitely one of the things that intuition is particularly brilliant at, because your intuition is the non-linear function of your mind. You can use it to understand some of the non-linear effects, which is sort of like butterfly effect stuff. The non-linear effects, you can actually use that to your intuition to navigate through those non-linear choices so that you can end up actually creating what you want in life, even if it seems like the odds are stacked against you. Anyway, so that's Dune. When you watch the movie or read the books, have a look for that. If you've got some other thoughts about intuition in the movie Dune, put them in the comments below. And until next time, remember that you're brilliant.